In net, number 35, Henry, second. His offenders are number 14, Aiden Boquet. And number 9, Colin Resner. The forwards are number 23, Lane Adams. Number 21, Brooks Miller. Centered by number
face-off, cycled the puck, came in, nobody to meet him. And 12 seconds in, Orono finds themselves down 1 goal. Quick change of the entire 5. So Kelly, Burke, and Fessler with Burlock and Kinder. Kelly on the forecheck. Rochester able to play it out to neutral. I'll update the score when I get a chance. Boy, the cross-ice pass on an open player, it didn't connect, or it might have been 2 shots in a hurry. Rochester cycles it down behind their own goal line, behind the Orono goal line, I should say. Held in at the point, along the midboard. Player skates in, shoots. Save made by Packer. Packer in net today. 13-12 left. Orono trailing 1-0. All right, too far for him. So Weiss, Dillon, and Erickson out there right now, the forwards. Keefe and Pierce on defense. Dillon from Weiss, back behind the goal line. He tries to get control. He puts it out in front. He does it again. Erickson shoots just wide. Weiss cycles it back down low, goes into the far corner. Erickson tried to get it, but Rochester there first. They're moving in on the attack. Poke check by Pierce. Centered. Erickson breaks that one up a little bit. Keefe finishes the breakup. Pierce gets it out to neutral. Tried to hit Dillon, but it was broken up by Rochester defense. They will enter the zone again. Now Peck on. He breaks that up. Back behind his own goal line goes far corner for Pierce. Pierce overskates a little bit, but now he's got it. He gets it to Peck, to Lee. Now Downey. Downey comes in the zone. Poke check, and Rochester going the other way. Shot. Packer save. And it wasn't frozen, but we got a whistle. So 11:42 left in the first. Peck takes the draw. Puck comes in on Packer. He sticks it away. Dacey and Gerlach now on defense. Peck gets it. He tries to hit Downey. Gets past the Rochester defender. Downey trying to put on some pressure. Sorry, you're going to be blocked by viewers in that corner. Peck comes away with it. Inside the circle, he tries to shoot. Whiffs. Gerlach shoots. Oh, the goalie just got a piece of it with the glove. It went high. Downey hits Lee. Lee tried to center for Peck. Now Peck in the far near corner. He gets taken down, no call. Rochester trying to break out. Pass doesn't connect. It's going to go the length of the ice, and that'll be icing. 10:52 left in the first. So after a shaky start, after a shaky 12 seconds, I should say, things have normalized a little bit. Rochester has a little more speed than what we're used to playing, so this will be a good test for the kids this weekend, playing AA hockey the whole time. Burke, Fessler, and Kelly out there. Fessler in the corner. He's going to get nudged up against the boards. Burke comes to help out. Rochester pokes it away. Up the boards. They get it out. They had somebody just cherry picking a little bit, so Kinder pushes him into the corner as Kinder and Pierce are out there on defense. Shot from the point. Goes wide. Kelly in the near corner of his own zone. Gets it over to Kinder. Back. Well, he was trying to reverse it back to Kelly. Pierce has to go track it down. They're kind of going back and forth. Now, Kinder puts it off the boards. It's going to go too far for icing. All right, Erickson line comes out. Erickson, Dillon, and Weiss. They battle for it. Dillon comes and gets it. Plays it off the boards, looking to try and play it to himself. Rochester defender gets there first. Now Weiss putting on some pressure. Rochester clears up the boards into neutral. Bad angles in this rink, so I'll try and do my best to keep my eye on the puck. Rochester now looking to break out, broken up by Dacey. But now they do. And now they've got numbers. 2-on-2 now, as Dacey's able to get back. Back behind the goal line is Rochester. They're looking for a centering pass. They center to the point. Whiff on the shot. Poke check by Weiss. Weiss comes away with it. He's got a 2-on-1 with Dillon on the other side. He tried to get it to him the other side, but broken up by a Rochester stick. Now they're going to dump and change with one attacker. Kinder lightly taps it up against the boards. Along the boards, I should say, but held in by Rochester. Gerlach cuts off his man in the corner. Erickson comes and digs it out. He plays it up to Lee. Lee off the boards for Downey out in neutral. Downey able to get through, too. He's got a shot. He shoots. Glove save. Good opportunity there. No love shown from the goalie. Off the face-off. Gerlach able to hold his own. Lee centers for Downey. Shot. Save. Kinder. Now he'll put it towards the net. Another save. Lee on the far boards. Trying to find some room. Inside the circle, he centered again. Downey was being well guarded. Now Peck gets it in neutral. He's digging at it, trying to win that battle. He comes away with it. Up to Downey. You can't see. Downey to Lee. Lee lost it a little bit. Now Gerlach on his backhander to Lee. Lee will cycle it down low. Peck there. Creates some pressure. They've got an open lane. We had a guy fall down, and they move in and shoot, and oh, he missed. And he deked, and he had a wide open net, but puck kind of came on the high side of his stick. Downey, he's just going to dump and change out to neutral. Burke on the forecheck. Keefe skating back. So Keefe and Pierce on defense. Burke, Kelly, and Fessler out there now. Rochester back behind their own net, or back behind the Orono net, I should say. Taken away by Pierce. He'll dump it out to neutral. Fessler's got a step. He's going to get there first. It's going to be behind the goal line. He's looking to play it back to the point for Pierce. Pierce dumps it back down low. Kelly's there. He tried to center, cut off by Rochester. They're moving the other way. They come in onside, move towards the middle. A couple people poke at it. Rochester now inside the circle. Shot. Pad save. It's loose. Burke was able to get it to Kelly, who gets it to Fessler. Fessler moves across the blue line. He's got all kinds of company to greet him there. Erickson now just on the ice. Holds it into neutral. Rochester goes D to D. Now they're going to skate it in. They'll dump it deep. Daisy giving chase. Erickson digs it away. Weiss has it. They play it high off the glass. It deadens and is held in. Now blocked by Gerlach is the shot. Weiss. Oh, he overskates it a bit. And then he loses a wheel. We got to get to that puck first. Kinder does. He tries to clear. Rochester holds. Daisy. He's looking for somebody. He'll cycle it along the boards. Weiss gets a whack at it, but held in by Rochester. The shot comes all the way in. Went just wide. Now Rochester dumps low and goes off for a change as Daisy has it. He'll bang it off the boards out into neutral. Rochester gathers deep in their own zone. Peck comes on the ice, interrupts things for a minute. Now Dillon is able to bat it into the zone, but batted down by a defensive glove. Now Lee, he'll get it in the zone. Comes right back out. Lee, Peck, Downey all over trying to get the puck in neutral. Rochester able to tap it momentarily. Kinder now breaks it up to Peck. Downey gets poke checked at the blue line. Lee gets poke checked at the blue line. Now Rochester going the other way. They get it behind the goal line. Pierce now on. Shot from the point. Saved by Packer. He's able to bat it down. Peck gets it to Lee, who dumps it in the corner. He'll chase it down himself, but Rochester defense gets there first. Now Peck inside the circle. He's poke checked. Rochester looking to break out. Pass doesn't connect. Keefe's got it. He plays it off the boards, back out into neutral for Lee. Lee tried to hit Burke, but Rochester intercepts. They bring it in the zone. Poke checked by Pierce. They're moving in, trying to get something going out in front. Gerlach doing a great job of, that was Keefe doing a great job of bodying his man and getting him out of the crease. Shot comes in, deflected wide. Burke back behind the goal line, along with Pierce. Pierce up the boards. Lee gets a stick on it, but not enough. And Rochester puts it back behind the goal line. Keefe along the boards, back to the point. Rochester holds. We need a whistle. All right, we get it clear. Burke. He hands off to Fessler. Fessler gets poke check. Burke centers for Kelly. Kelly makes a diving effort to get a shot. Rochester comes away with it. Out to neutral. Gerlach off the boards into the zone. Kelly giving chase along with Fessler. Everybody else going for a change. Fessler in the corner. Rochester digs it out. They go cross ice. Gerlach's there to break that up. And Daisy will go retrieve it. He'll put on the brakes. Oh! He Allen Iverson the guy. Now we got a ref that's fallen down. He's back up. Rochester comes in. Poke checked by Gerlach. Shot. Save. Packer. Gerlach to Weiss. Weiss looking for Dillon. Dillon able to get it in the zone, but not control it as Rochester defense was there. They'll break up along the boards into neutral. Gerlach and Pierce on defense. Now Dillon and Weiss come to join the fun. Weiss with a back check, comes away with it. Weiss along the boards to himself, enters the zone. Gets it deep into the corner. Rochester cuts him off. Ooh, boy, I thought that was going to be our first call of the day. It's out in front. It's loose. They're digging at it. Dillon shoots. Erickson got a whack at it. Kinder. Tons of traffic in front. I knew that shot. I knew he was going to shoot it, and I knew it was going to get blocked. But hey, you got to give him the effort. Pierce holds the blue line, puts it back down low. Good pressure by this line. Weiss gotten away with a few. Now Rochester out to neutral. Pierce has it. And here comes Rochester. Onside play. Back behind the goal line, back behind the net. Looking to center, he does. Broken up there by Lee. And Lee drawing all sorts of attention. Now, cleared by Pierce. Rochester will dump and chase. Kinder back behind his own net.
1 minute remaining in the first period. 1 minute.
Now Downey along the midboard. He's trying to clear. It's held in. Kinder, he will clear. It'll go the length of the ice. They wave icing because it was touched. Peck on the floor check. Rochester able to clear out to neutral. Dacey gets it. Dacey's going to go cross ice for Downey. Downey handles. He dumps it in the zone looking for Fessler. Wait, what? Was Burke in the zone? I didn't see anybody but Fessler, and it looked like... All right, offsides. We'll get a face-off at center ice with 35 seconds left in the first. Orono trailing 1-0. Shots on goal are even at 5 apiece. Dacey. Now Keith backtracking. He'll get there first behind his own goal line. 2 Rochester players there. He needs a little help. Now Kelly comes to assist. He's digging at it. Shot from the point goes wide. That was really more of a pass. They center. Out in front. Packer save. Did you just get her? Rough start. They got to let you down. All right. Burke takes the draw. It goes into the corner. 7 seconds left. Shot from the point goes wide. Kelly's going to grab it. 2 seconds left. He'll just lightly tap it. Be up the boards, or across the boards, I should say. I'm going to fix my tongue here. I've been a little tongue-tied this morning. We're down 1-0 after 1. All right, Burke, Fessler, and Kelly come out with Gerlach and Pierce. We're starting the second. 14-minute periods. Rochester controls. They'll bring it in the zone. They try and split the middle. Whacked away by Burke. Now whacked at by Pierce. And Kelly trying to steal. He does. He's got a shot. Save. Oh, loose out in front. Burke goes sliding into the goalie, and they gain control out to... Pierce able to dump it back in. Rochester takes control as Orono changes. Second period, so you got those long stretch changes. Shot by Rochester goes wide. High off the glass. Now Weiss. He's able to muscle through a couple guys. Gets it down behind the goal line. Dillon on the forecheck. Rochester handles. They stretch pass. They bring it in the zone. Dump pass in the middle, but Erickson takes it away. Look up! He's got Dillon with him. He's going to keep it. Now I'll dump it to Dillon. Dillon will cycle it back to Erickson behind the goal line. Erickson takes a little bit of a check. They're letting him play. Rochester comes the other way. Dacey with a poke check. They get it back behind the Orono net. Centered. It goes through everybody out to the point. Able to be cut off by the Rochester defenseman. He puts one in. Deflected, but Packer there. They've had 2 deflections already. That's what they look for out in front. And Packer able to hold on and freeze the puck. 12:24 left in the second. Trailing 1-0. Peck comes out for the draw. He wins it to Kinder. Out to neutral. Peck, grabs. He's got Lee with him on a 2-on-1. He tries to get around a guy and gets a long stretch of a poke check. Rochester reverses the puck out into neutral. They try and split the middle. Kinder and Gerlach break that up. Gerlach breaks it up. Kinder takes the puck. Now Downey out in neutral. Trying to find some space, being poke checked. Rochester enters the zone. Poke checked by Gerlach. Lee, he'll find Downey. Downey tries to make a move. He does. Oh, he was, I think, trying to get it back to Lee, but was checked. Gerlach pinches. He puts it in the middle. Gerlach at the point. Cycles it down low. Peck in the corner. He grabs. He's trying to find some space. None there. Rochester clears. They skate it in. Shot. Packer grabs that and says, scoop of chocolate, scoop of vanilla. 11:14 left in the second.
Let me know if I get your way.
Oh, don't worry. I'm pretty vocal about that. You're in my shot. Rochester shoots. Packer save right off the draw. Back behind the goal line are Keefe and Burke. Cleared up to the point. Held in. Now Kelly bangs it off the wall. Out into neutral. Kelly plays it up the wall again. He's looking for Fessler. Fessler able to tap it in the zone. And Rochester grabs control. They're just a lot bigger than we are. So they have the length factor and the body factor. But we're giving them all they can handle. Now Rochester breaks it up, but broken up by Kelly. He was trying to get it to Fessler and get a... Hey, Caleb. Caleb, thank you. Rochester tries to center back to the point. Doesn't connect. They go D to D. Now cross ice. On a change. They've got something. Poke checked by Keefe at first. Then the shot saved by Packer. He's been lights out ever since we all woke up after the first 12 seconds. 10:09 left in the second. Still a 1-0 game. Rochester with the lead. Erickson digs it towards Weiss. Weiss hits Dillon. Dillon tries to skate it a bit. Gets tied up by 2 guys. Rochester does a great job of having 2 guys on the puck at all times on defense. They go cross ice. They enter the zone. Kinder plays him. Back behind the goal line. Erickson comes to help. Now goes into the corner. Weiss trying to get control of it. Comes to Dillon. Out in neutral. Dillon makes some moves towards the middle. He gets past one. Gets a backhander out on net. Save made. Into the center. Weiss shot. Save. Kinder now shoots towards the net. Oh, save was made. Nobody was home on the back door, but to punch in the rebound. Now Rochester tries to clear again. They do out at the neutral. Kinder cuts that off. Rochester. Oh, tripped by Weiss, and he got that one blocked by Dacey. All right. Cut off by Weiss. Weiss looks up. He skates. On his backhand. He waits for a change. Rochester takes it away. They have fresh legs on the ice. Shot comes in on Packer. He guides it towards the corner. Gerlach reverses the puck. Now Lee. Lee plays it out to neutral. Downey tried to hit Peck, but he's being all kinds of tied up. Keefe on the puck in his own zone. Rochester bats it down. They move towards the net. They center. It slides through the crease. Peck able to break one up momentarily. Rochester still in possession. They center. Broken up by Keefe with a block. Keefe tries to muscle it through. Rochester was there. Now Downey pokes it out to neutral, and that'll draw an offside. 8:02 left in the second. 11 shots for Orono, 9 for Rochester. Burke, Fessler, and Kelly out there with Dacey and Pierce. Battled for off the draw. Dacey puts it high off the glass. Funky bounce. Glove down by Kelly. Kelly shoots. He has Fessler on the other side. Fessler puts it off the wall. Burke able to get it to Kelly. They're all three behind the goal line. Now Burke and Fessler move beyond out in front. Burke in the corner. Puck slides to the midboard. Rochester takes possession. They'll bring it in. Broken up by Burke. Fessler able to tap it out into neutral. And they'll go far side into the zone. Dacey there. Shot from outside the circle, blocked by Kelly. Dacey plays it up along the boards. Fessler trying to clear. Burke does. Rochester steals. They bring it in again. They set it up. Play it back to the point. Shot comes in the middle. They deflect it high and into the netting. They've done that multiple times. They will bring it to the point. The off man will come inside in front of the goalie with the stick out, and they look for that deflection. All right, Erickson line out there now. Gerlach in the corner along with Erickson. That's the one corner you're not going to see the entire game because got too many people in my way. All right. Orono trying to clear. Rochester holds. Gerlach kicks it. He's at the midboard. Plays it up to the point. Dillon able to get it out of the zone. I got Erickson right in front of me. Now Rochester brings it in. Shot blocked by Gerlach at the last second. Good hustle play by Mason. Rochester shoots it in wide. Gerlach being tangled up in the corner. Erickson able to clear. I'm sorry, that's Dillon. Dillon with the puck, brings across the blue line. He'll shoot wide. Weiss off the... he was already out there. I was going to say off the bench. Peck's out there with Weiss and Dillon right now as we're in one of those stretch shifts. Peck in the corner. He's double teamed. Rochester has it. They play it out. Rochester moves in. Pierce goes wide to cut him off. Centering pass. Gerlach able to break it up. And what do they call? What? Behind the play. I wasn't looking. It must have happened off the puck. Weiss. He committed 4 penalties before he got called for one, so he'll go to the box. 5:20 left in the second. We're down 1, and we'll be shorthanded. Pierce, Kelly, Burke, and Keith out there. Weiss is in the box. Rochester controls the draw. They go D to D at the point. Cycled down behind the goal line. Somebody do something. All right, they just play keep away, and we just kind of stay in our 4-man box. Out on the periphery. They shoot from the point. Save made by Packer. And redirected wide. Pierce cuts off his man behind the goal line. He'll just shove it up against the boards. Wastes a few seconds. Shot. Out in front. It's loose. Packer able to control and freeze it.
They started that penalty time. It's way too late.
Yeah, I was going to say, how's it 1:14 left? Are we doing 2-minute penalties?
We lost about 15 seconds.
They didn't get the penalty on the board in time, so we've been out there for 40 seconds, and we still have 1:15 to kill. That's garbage. Yeah. Volunteers working the clock. Shot. Ooh, man, he was looking for the near high corner. Downey able to steal and poke it out. Peck giving chase, and Rochester will put it into the Orono bench. So with Peck, Downey, Kinder, and Dacey now trying to kill this thing off. 56 seconds left on the kill. Peck takes a draw and then gets pushed up against the boards. Downey cuts it off at the midboard, puts it behind the goal line. Peck on the forecheck. Oh, Peck's going to... Oh, I thought he was going to steal it. Rochester has the puck. 39 seconds left on the kill now. They get it into neutral, bring it across the line. Interrupted there by Dacey. They're looking to get out in front. Somebody's got to take that guy. Foster came to full strength now. Penalty is over. Comes in on Packer. He just waves it away with his wand. Now centered. Man, that took off Kinder's stick. Kinder's out there playing soccer. He's able to get it to Weiss. Weiss able to clear. He looks for Downey. Cut off by Rochester. Rochester with the puck. Kinder able to grab his stick. It comes in on Packer again. He makes the save. Packer's poke check. We need a whistle and we need some fresh legs. Peck and Downey have been out there forever. Held in by Rochester. Downey now goes to the bench. He sees an opening and gets off the ice. Rochester has... I thought they had too many, but they don't. Dacey. His clearing attempt gets blocked. Up the boards to the point. It's loose out in front. Rochester made a nice centering pass and then a couple taps of it. Now they reverse. Shot. Peck. Oh, it got their own. Now, you give them a 2-minute possession in their own offensive zone, something's going to happen. 2:30 left in the second. Orono goes down 2-0. Comes out into the neutral. They bring it right back in. They dump it to the point. Now down low. Pierce was able to grab it. He skates it. Hands off to Kelly inside the zone. Kelly whips. He's still got it. Now Rochester ices the puck. I'm about to hand the microphone to Caleb Lee because I can't talk today. Oh, yeah. All right. We're down 2, 1:38 left in the second. Erickson line out. Draw, won by Rochester. Keith just outside his own blue line. Dumps it in the Orono zone. Dillon giving chase, but everybody else just watching. If we're going to put pressure on the puck, we got to do so immediately. These guys get rid of it. Erickson cuts it off. Now, Keith, he'll shoot. Save made. It's loose. Rochester defense clears back to the point. Oh, Keith overskates. And Rochester going the other way.
1 minute remaining in the second period.
They get some momentum. We'll see what happens here. All right, Peckley and Downey, Gerlach and Kinder. Rochester controls the draw, though. They come in. They center. It's loose out in front. All kinds of sticks. Good job by Gerlach and Kinder to cut that off. And now Gerlach's going to draw a tripping penalty to Rochester. Kinder goes off the glass. 16 seconds left. Yeah. I agree. I know. All right, 2-0 Rochester. Orono goes on the power play with 14 seconds left in the period. Peck, Kelly, and Weiss out there, along with Keefe and Pierce. Rochester controls the draw. Pierce pinches. 7 seconds left. They poke it out to neutral, and that'll do it. 2 periods in, we're down 2-0. All right, here we go. 14 minutes left in the deciding period. Orono wins the draw, but Rochester breaks it up at the blue line. Orono goes D to D. Pierce to Keefe. Now to Kelly. Kelly brings it in the zone. He'll put on the brakes. He looks for Keefe. Keefe tries to split the middle. We got to get on that puck. Fessler now. Inside his own circle. He's looking cross-eyes. He'll just dump it for Weiss. Weiss shoots. It gets deflected wide. Kelly back behind the goal line. Now Burke. He gets it to Pierce. Ooh, man, I thought Pierce was going to release that one. He tries to skate it deeper. Gets cut off. Inside the circle. Now he shoots. Save made. Glove save. Good shot. Nice and low, but off the ice. Forces the glove save. Orono on the power play. We keep the same 4 out there. Burke, Kelly, or same 5, I should say. Fessler, Pierce, and Keefe. Rochester reverses it. Kelly cuts it off. Now Fessler comes to join the fun. Rochester goes back behind their own goal line again. Now they clear into neutral. Keefe cuts it off. It was blocked, his pass attempt, but Pierce grabs it. He'll skate it in. 8 seconds left on the power play. He gets all the way to the net. He shoots off the side of the net. He gets it back. It's loose out in front. Rochester clears. And you just heard the announcement. They kill off the penalty. does Rochester, so 0 for 1 on the power play. Only one power play for each team thus far. Neither team has scored on the power play. Orono sends out Erickson, Dillon, and Weiss with Gerlach and Dacey. Erickson wins it to Weiss. He comes in and shoots. It got deflected into the net. Or sorry, that was Gerlach, not Weiss. Gerlach from the defensive position. Erickson tries to win it again. They battle for it inside the dot. Dillon gets it on net. Save made. So rinse and repeat. We'll face off in the same bat spot, same bat channel. Rochester able to win this one. Cut off by Gerlach, but they somehow muscle it through. Now they're offside, no call. They're still offside if you ask me. Nobody did. Dacey back in the corner. Where are we positioned? Shot from the point. I think Weiss got a foot on it. He blocks it. Rochester shot goes off the crossbar. Now Dillon able to poke it out the neutral. They'll reload. Played by Gerlach. Out and down the ice. It was touched, so no icing. It's waved. Dillon goes and tries to chance it down himself as we start a change. Pierce plays it off somebody into the Rochester bench. So we'll get a face-off just outside the Orono defensive zone. Peck, Downey, and Lee, Pierce, and Kinder. Orono trailing 2-0, 11:31 left. There's time, but we got to get something generated offensively. Rochester brings it in the zone. Pierce puts it out. There was, what's he calling? Somebody on the bench touched it. So we'll get a face-off in our defensive zone, the Packers' blocker side. Rochester wins the draw. Shot blocked out in front. Blocked again by Kinder. Downey takes it. He'll play it off the boards. He gets knocked down. That's not... Okay, yeah, he'll draw a penalty. He took a pretty good shot entering the zone. Players exchanged some nice words. Good sportsmanship by Rochester. You all right? All right. Rochester goes to the box for interference. We'll get on the power play as soon as they figure out how to put it on the board. 2-minute power play on the board. Are we doing 2 minutes? 2-minute power play? Okay. Shot from the point from Pierce. Glove save. Goalie's got a good glove. That's the way you draw it up, though. Win the draw, get it to the point, get a shot, get some people out in front. Maybe get a rebound or a deflection. Kinder comes off the ice for Gerlach. Lee moves behind the goal line. Off the draw. He centers. It gets it through everything back to Gerlach. Gerlach unable to hold, so out to neutral. Peck comes in the zone. He's got both his forwards with him. He tries to get it to Lee out in front. Goalie sticks it away. Gets it to Pierce at the point. It's broken up, and they got to walk in. Yeah, no, it goes all the way down the ice, and that's icing. All right. So, Orono on the power play for another minute 23.
Minute 30, they let him out at 30 seconds.
Okay,
I was
sorry.
They did that on one of your guys. I was like,
Yeah, I know. And then they call icing. I'm like... All right, so 90-second power plays. The guy just doesn't know how to operate the board. So Rochester will come out at the 30-second mark of the penalty on the scoreboard. So we got a minute left, basically, a little less. Pierce plays it off the boards into neutral. Kelly grabs. He's looking to skate it in the zone. He does now. He's out there with Burke and Weiss. Gerlach and Pierce. Gerlach from the point shoots. Knocked down and grabbed and held. 10:09 left in the game. 31 seconds left on the Orono power play. Burke takes the draw. Puck bounces funny. Kelly comes in. He tried to back tap it to Gerlach, but cut off by Rochester. Rochester skates it down the ice. They're just killing some time off this kill now. They reverse the puck. Shot on Packer. Save. Frozen. Rochester almost got a shorty there. 7 seconds left on the Orono power play, so they'll be doing well to get the puck and just keep them out of their offensive zone after this draw. Weiss, Erickson, Dillon, along with Dacey and Keefe. Keefe back behind the boards. He's looking for somebody on center. Shot comes in. It's deflected wide. Rochester at full strength. Back to the point. Shot deflected in on Packer. He makes the save and is able to stop it. How many times have they done that? Same play every time. All right. Peck, Lee, and Downey come on the ice now. They battle for it. Peck along his own midboard. He'll go back behind the goal line to Dacey. Let's go, boys. Move the puck. Peck gets it to Downey. Downey was looking for Lee in neutral. Cut off by Rochester. They'll dump it in again. Dacey back there. They'll play it up along the boards. Lee gets his stick on it. It gets through. Rochester grabs. They make a long stretch. But what? He didn't touch it. That was icy. Pierce pushed up against the boards. Peck comes to help. Now he gets double teamed. Keefe comes in. He levels somebody. That could have got called, but it didn't. Lee out into neutral. Rochester taps it back in offside. Well, we're playing a team that's a lot longer than us and probably a little bit faster. We're down 2 with 8:25 left. Burke wins the draw to Pierce. Burke, Fessler, and Kelly out there now. Pierce puts it back out into neutral again. Rochester shoots it back in again. It goes off Fessler's stick into the bench area, so we'll get a drop at center ice. Face-off, I should say. Rochester controls the draw backward. They're looking for a stretch press cross ice. It doesn't connect, and Pierce is there to play it. He gets it to Fessler in neutral. Fessler hits Kelly entering the zone. Kelly trying to get it towards the middle. Broken up. Pierce cuts it off the blue line. Skates down low. He's pinching. He centers. It got through everybody, and now Rochester going the other way. But a good poke check by Fessler breaks that up, as they would have had an odd man rush. Kinder plays it up the boards. Rochester goes D to D in neutral. Cut off by Pierce. He'll play it back out into neutral, but nobody home, and we're going to change. Rochester goes far side, enters the zone. Gerlach gets a first stick on it. Rochester keeps the puck. They dump to the point, now down in the corner. Cut off there by Erickson and Dacey. Dillon grabs it, skates it out to neutral. He gets cut off. Rochester goes D to D. Now they'll skate it in. Shot from just inside the blue line. Packer Saves, then drops for Keefe or Weiss. I don't know. Biddy. That's all, folks. Rochester out in front. Save made by Packer. He makes another one. Packers played awfully solid. 6:46. 2-save shift thus far. Erickson takes a draw. Rochester nudges it towards the net. Dacey plays it. Inside the circle, Rochester puts it back behind the goal line. Dacey plays it again. Now Erickson there. He tries to hit Dillon, but it goes off his stick. And Rochester takes possession again. Gerlach swings and misses. Shot, save. Held on to, whistle. 6:22 left. Shots on goal are 21 in favor of Rochester, 14 for Orono. We change them up. Peck, Keefe, Downey, Burke, and Lee out there. And Pierce. Pierce comes away with it. Lee grabs, comes in the zone. He shoves it behind the goal line. Peck trying to get there first. He does. He's able to punch it towards Lee. Lee looking for some space. He's cut off. And Rochester will put it out into neutral. Peck grabs it along the boards, and then he gets boarded. No call. He's still getting shoved. He'll trip his guy. No, but Rochester has it. Shot from the point. Gets deflected wide. Rochester looking for a cross-ice pass. They get it. Shot goes just wide. Lee, he'll ice it. 5:28 left. Frustration setting in. Burke, Fessler, and Kelly out again. Kinder and Dacey. Burke wins the draw back to Dacey. Dacey will backhand it along the boards, but cut off by Rochester. Now Kelly has it. To Dacey. Behind Burke. Rochester cuts it off. Shoots. Packer save.
That was that length right there. Couldn't get the steering pass.
Yeah.
That guy got a stick right on it.
Yep. Rochester controls the draw back to the point. They center, broken up by Dacey. Good stick play there. Rochester holds. Kinder backhands it to his D partner, Dacey. He wheels it along the boards. Rochester digs it out. They shoot. Packer with a save. 4:45 left in the game. All right, Erickson, Weiss, and Dillon out there with Gerlach and Keefe. Rochester cuts it off at the blue line. Gerlach goes into the corner. He gets the angle, but he gets shoved up against the boards. Somebody came to help and dig it out. They get it to Dillon. Dillon skates. He shoots. Goes off a Rochester stick wide. Keefe pinching. Dillon tried to center to Weiss, cut off by Rochester. Now they're looking to break out. They've got a 3-on-1. Shot, save, another shot, another save. Packer doing a good job there. And then both of them. Got some action in front of the net, and I think we're going to have just one. All right, Rochester goes to the box. I thought he was motioning both. All right, so 4 minutes left, 4:01 to be exact. Orono's going to get a power play, and I think Coach Fessler is thinking about taking a timeout here.
I will.
Did they give that a 10 and 2?
I don't think so. He caught him off balance really well.
Oh, he was motioning timeout. Okay. All right, it's timeout. So 4:01, Orono's going to go on the power play down 2. All right, timeout's over. Orono's drawn up what they want. They'll put Burke, Peck, Weiss, Kelly, Keefe, and Gerlach out there with an empty net. So we're going to play 6-on-4 for the next minute 24 and try and make this a 1-goal game. Empty net for Orono right now. They've opted for the 6th attacker. Kelly nudges Burke out of the box. He says, I'm taking the draw. Rochester controls. They put it down the length of the ice. It's going to be just wide. 3:47 left in the game. 1:17 left on the Orono power play.
What happened there on the face-off?
Burke was set to take it. Kelly comes in and nudges him out of the way. Kelly is taking the face off. That's very crystal clear. And anybody who wants to challenge it, we're going to go. Kelly wins the face-off to Weiss, to Keefe. Shot from the point. It's loose out in front. Gerlach, oh! They clear it down the ice. They go just wide. I thought he had it.
You can't be taking shots from the point with
No.
the crowd in front of the net.
Agreed.
That rebound was perfect.
Yep. All right, we'll reset here. 1:04 left on the Orono power play, playing 6-on-4. Keefe from the high slot, deflected by Kelly on net. It's loose in front. Oh, Beck almost had it. Now Rochester tries to clear. Keefe cuts it off. Hold on that puck, buddy. Get it in the center. Oh, they do. It bounces around. Peck's got it. 44 seconds left on the power play. Rochester trying to clear. They do. Shot down the ice, just wide again. All right, 34 seconds left. 3:05 left in the game. Good pressure from the Spartans. Kelly going to take the drop. Burke and Peck to the inside. Weiss to the outside. Keefe and Gerlach back at the D point positions. Puck goes behind. Peck's going to get there first. 30 seconds. He'll go down to... Who is that? That's Burke. Burke inside the circle. He'll dump to Peck. 20 seconds. They're trying to set something up. Puck comes all the way out past Gerlach into neutral. He'll get back, chase it down. He gets it to Peck. Peck skates. Cut off by Rochester. It's at the blue line now. It's in neutral. And we got an empty net. And the puck in neutral will remain with an empty net, but the power play is over. So it's just an empty net situation right now. Actually, Packer came back out. So 2:18 left. Rochester ices the puck. We'll send out Fessler, Downey, and Lee with Pierce and Dacey. They dropped the puck prematurely, if you ask me. Fessler wasn't even hardly at the dot. Rochester breaks it up. They're going the other way. Pierce nudges his man into the corner. Pearson Lee back there doing the dirty work. Off the boards. Rochester puts it in deep again behind the goal line. Dacey cuts that one off. They go forward to forward behind the goal line. They're just cycling and playing keep away. Now they get it out in front. Shot goes off the post. Rochester back behind their own net again. Right out in front. Packer makes the first save. It's loose. He's trying to find it and grab it. Dacey comes away with it. Plays it off the boards out into neutral. 1:24 left, though, and Rochester puts it in the zone again. Dacey clears again. And no icing. 1:15. Rochester going to stretch it. That'll be icing. 1:05 left. We'll change them up. And time, she is ticking away. We got to get 2 goals in 65 seconds when we haven't done so in 43 minutes. Or something like that. Maybe my math's off. No. 41 minutes.
1 minute remaining in the third.
All right, Gerlach along the board. Now Peck. 52 seconds left. Peck taps it to Gerlach, but it comes out of his own. Gerlach's going to go over to Keith. Now Rochester. Peck's towards an empty net. We've got 6 out there as Burke has joined the fun, and Kelly. Cut off by Peck at the blue line, but offside. 35 seconds left. We got an empty net. Burke, Kelly, Dillon, Peck, Gerlach, and Keefe out there. Kelly wins it forward into the zone. They whack at it. It comes back out to neutral. Gerlach able to tie up his man. Empty netter, goes just wide. Sorry, bad camera work. Peck, 19 seconds left. Out into neutral. Kelly gets it to Burke. Burke enters the zone. He tries to get it back to Kelly, but broken up. 12 seconds left. Back to the point for Keefe. He shoots, blocked. And Rochester going to get an empty netter here. With 2 seconds left, they put the icing on the cake, and it's 3-0. That Rochester's going to end up winning this game by. Well, Orono gave a heck of an effort. They're going to let the clock run out, and that's all she wrote for game 1. Orono knew it'd be a challenge playing AA this tournament. They lose 3-0, and we will play St. Cloud later on this afternoon. Good effort by the Spartans. Just didn't have enough. Trying to find the time of the game. Time of the game will be 4:45, but it could start as early as 4:30.
Thank you for joining us for today's game.
Sometime in between 4:30 and 4:45, we should probably